What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another live here on YouTube. And by the way, let me know where you're from. And by the way, too, let me know if you are new in IT, or let me know if you already have a job in IT. The more that I know about you, the more specific the advice and guidance I can give you. And obviously, my main objective, as you know, is for you to get to a high-paying job in IT sooner than later. For you not to go through your IT career the way that most people go through it. Because this is one thing that I was telling one of my students. How much you earn in your IT career matters a lot. How much you earn for yourself and for your family matters a lot. So why not get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later? Right? So obviously that's my main and whole objective on this channel, to help you to do that based on my experience, my own experience, and obviously too based on the experience of many of my students that were able to do this and accomplish this. Now, what's the topic of this video? Obviously, my focus is how to become a network engineer in 2023 and be able to get to an income of 160 up to $180,000, and for you to do that in 1 year. Now, really think about that. And I know probably right now you're thinking, this is probably BS. Like, that's no way that someone can get to that income. Like, that's just no way. I know a lot of people that work in IT, Jorge, and none of them were able to get to 160, 180K in 1 year. And by the way, you do not need a bachelor's degree. You do not need any of those IT programs that are out there. None. You can do this on your own, but you have to know and exactly what to do. And I'm going to go through this video, the next 45 minutes, and tell you how to go about it. I'm going to go through it in detail. I have my notes because I was thinking, what would I do me if I have to do this all over again? Now that I know better, now that I help many people, to get to their first job in IT, upgrade that job they got to in IT to a better one. So I'm going to walk you through and tell you what would I do. And again, 1 year. And I need you to be open because this is exactly what can happen to you. This is what can be possible for you. 1 year from now, you can be, wow, I really end up getting to $160,000, $180,000. Now, for some of you, you may have no idea how much that is per month. That goes directly to your bank account. And that's about $10,000 to $11,000, depending obviously on the state that you are. But once they go through all the deductions, taxes, and everything else, you end up keeping for yourself $10,000, $11,000 a month. So before me going through this detail and how can you do that, really, like, imagine yourself how life be for you and for your family. Probably some of you are earning $3,000 a month. Maybe some of you $5,000 a month. Maybe some of you $7,000 a month. I mean, I don't know. But just imagine earning another $5,000 on top of what you are earning right now. How life be for you? And if you have any questions, because obviously this is live, go on the chat. Let's just have a conversation. I'm going to be here for about 45 minutes, and I'm going to go through this in detail. But if you have any questions right now, let me know. If there is probably a story going through your mind right now that it's telling you, no, this is BS, or this is not possible, or this is not what they told me, because yes, I got people that told me, they advised me, guide me on how to go about getting in my IT career. And none of them told me that this is something that I can do. Or you know what, be honest. And you can like right away be like, Jorge, this is BS. I do not believe in what you say. I don't believe that this is possible in 1 year. I don't think so. Well, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to totally go through this in detail. But once again, go in the comments, let me know. And for those of you listening right now, I will appreciate it if you like this video. There are about 25 of you like this video. And let me go on for 10 minutes. And if at one point you be like, this is BS, you can unlike the video. But so far, like this video. And if you have questions, again, one the chat because I'm gonna go through some of your questions. So, how to get to 160, 180K income as a network engineer in 1 year? Man, you know what? Like, if I go back when I was going through my IT career, because I ended up doing everything wrong, because obviously I didn't know any better, I think I will question that myself too. I will be like, no, that's no way someone can get to that income. This guy's probably full of BS. I think it was even me, a story is going through my mind right now. The good thing is now I'm on the other side. Like, yeah, it's possible. There are some of my students that are able to do that, right? So once again, be open to what can be possible for you. And again, I don't see any comments so far. Let me know if you can hear me fine. And again, if you're new in IT, let me know too. If you are new in IT, let me know too. If you work in IT, let me too as well. Let me know. Jorge, I've been working in IT for the last 6 months, the last 3 years, and I'm currently working on this position. Or Jorge, I'm barely earning this much, and I've been working in IT for this long. That way, again, I know more about you. Okay. Now how to get to that income. Well, I'm excited. I'm like excited, because I wish I knew this, to tell you the truth. I wish I knew this many years back when I was going through my IT career. I wish, you know, but the good thing is you're here now. So how can we go about it? And this is probably something that some of you can get this done sooner than later. Because probably you already have a job in IT. Maybe you have an entry-level job. So this is probably something that you can do sooner than later. But for those of you that are new in IT, I'm telling you, this is something that you can get it done in 1 year. Or this is probably something based on what I'm going to go through. Some of it may apply to you for you to get to that in the next 4 months. And you will see why in just a minute. Okay. So Jonathan, I'm going to get back to you in those comments. Okay. And that's great, man, that you end up getting an AD admin job. I will ask you a few questions, Jonathan, and I will give you some advice. Again, they can really help you. But let me just kind of go through a few things and then I get back to you. Okay. Now, let's, Anthony, I want a job. Are you new in IT? Talk to me. If you are new in IT, talk to me. Okay. Now, let's go about it. Okay. And again, I get it. I know that probably some of you want to get to that dream job, right? And again, let me, because I know probably some of you are kind of new on my channel. So let me tell you a few things about when I talk about high-paying job and a dream job. A high-paying job is when someone has one job in IT with an income of $130,000 or more. So if you come to me and you be like, I have a high-paying job in IT, that's because you are earning $130,000 or more in one job in IT. That's a high-paying job in IT. Now, a dream job, it's the job, and that's obviously depending on the dream, the job that you want. But that's a job it's the job that you wanted, but with an income of $180,000. So if you come to me, Jorge, I have my dream job. That's because you have that job that you always wanted with an income of $180,000 or more. One job in IT. Okay. So now that I put that out there and be clear on that, okay? And I get it. Some of you probably want to do like cloud, some others, cybersecurity, networking, DevOps. Now, a lot of it, what I'm going to go through, it can apply to any of them. But right now, the conversation, I want to really focus on the network engineer route, even though this can apply to any of the others that I just mentioned, cybersecurity, cloud, or DevOps. So how can we go about doing this? $160,000 to $180,000 of income in 1 year. First, for those of you that are new, right? Let's look at the big picture. So the big picture is for you to get to your first job in IT in the next 4, no more than 5 months. And yes, that's how long it takes. If you do it the right way, the way that I'm gonna go through on this live, you can get to a job in the next 4, no more than 5 months. Now, that first job in IT has to be a good job in IT, not an entry level job. And I'm going to talk about what's a good job in IT. So I need you to write that down. Okay, in the next 4 5 months, I'm looking at the big picture. I need to get my first job in IT, my first job, and making sure that that job, it's not an entry level job. A job that's going to pay me about 60 up to $75,000. First job in IT. And again, this is regardless of where you are right now. And if you don't have a bachelor's degree, it doesn't matter. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I don't even have a high school diploma. So this process fucking works. Okay? And again, probably you are against it. I'm going to ask you for you to be open, because probably the way that you end up going through your IT career was going through it the old way, not the modern way. Okay. So again, big picture, 4 or 5 months, you get your first job in IT, not an entry level job, a job that will pay you 60 up to $75,000. Because let me tell you something too, it matters. And I will tell you why in just a minute. But it matters a lot. The first job that you get in your IT career, it matters a lot. Now, the first job has to be a good job, something related to network or system. Okay, write that down. Network or system admin. Network or system support. Network or system analyst. Or maybe like a NAC support, an IT specialist position. That's a good job. That will pay you 60, 75K first job in IT if you know how to go about it. Help desk, service desk, PC tech, desktop support, field services, all of them entry-level jobs. You will not learn much on those jobs. You cannot become valuable to the IT market by doing the things that you're going to end up doing on entry-level jobs. This is why the job that you get in your IT career, the first, matters. And it matters on how fast you want to get to a high-paying job in IT, and how much and how fast you want to earn a good income in IT. And again, for those of you listening right now, they jump in late, how much money you earn matters a lot for yourself and for those of you that have a family. So now that we look at the big picture, right? So how we're going to go about doing that? So again, 4 or 5 months, good job in IT, 60 up to $75,000, something like, again, let's say you go based on a network analyst position. Okay. Now you're going to stay on that one job for 6 months, no more than 6 months. Again, I'm going to go through detail on how you're going to go about doing that. I'm looking at the big picture right now. And then we're going to reverse engineer the process and see how you're going to get there. But at least you start seeing the big picture. And for those of you listening right now, go and click like on this video. I will appreciate it if you take the time to like this video. Thank you. Now let me get some coffee. And I really hope you're writing this down, because this can be like the difference, and you end up with a fucking entry-level job in the next 6 months, 3 months, probably earning $80,000 by the end of next year, compared to earning $180,000. Okay? That's the difference, and you paying attention on this fucking video. Okay, so now let's get back on. What was? Oh, yes. So you stay on that first job that you're going to get in your IT career for about 6 months. 6 months. That second job now has to be a network engineer position. Okay? That has to be a network engineer position. Now you're probably thinking, okay, Jorge, I'm doing the math right here. You said 4 or 5 months. I'm new in IT. I'm barely going through this process. So 4 or 5 months, I get my first job in IT. And I get it. Okay, I'm going to see how I'm going to go and do this, because I'm going to go through this entire video and do what you asked. Okay, so 4 or 5 months, first job in IT, network analyst position. Okay. And then I get that job, and I'm going to stay there for another 6 months. Okay. So that means that's a year. So I don't get it. Well, again, I'm not done. Let me get to that point. Now, the second job in IT has to be a network engineer position. The second job in IT has to be a network engineer position. Engineer position. Now, how many of you know someone that their second job was an engineer level position? Probably you don't know that many people that were able to do that. Because once again, people don't know how to go through their IT career. Now, the second job in IT will pay you between 90 to 100K. So you're not going after a network engineer position, high level. It's more like getting into barely on that level of a network engineer. And that can pay you between 90 to 100K. Okay. So again, 4 or 5 months, you end up getting, let's say, a job that is paying you 65K, network analyst. And then you stay there for 6 months, and then you go and get a network engineer position. That will pay you, let's say, 90K. Let's just get to 90K. So you end up going from 65K to 90K. And you start right today, and about 10 months to a year now gets you to what? Come on. That gets you to what? 1 year, right? $90,000. So that year is gone. So how you gonna get to 160K? Because the second job that you end up getting in your IT career, the second job, that job, listen, has to be remote. That second job that you get in your IT career, the network engineer position, has to be remote. That way, within a month, you end up getting your second job at that level of engineer working from home. So now you have 2 jobs working from home. Each job about $90,000 or so. So that will get you the $160,000, $180,000 in 1 fucking year. Now you're probably thinking, well, that sounds nice, but is that realistic? Like, come on. Like, are you really asking me that question? I have some, not all, I have some of my students with 2, 3 jobs working from home, earning between $160,000 to $250,000 from home. Now, for many of you, you probably, oh man, is that, I mean, can that be possible? If you just be open to the possibility that it is, you're going to find a new way on how to go through your IT career. Now, I'm going to go back right now and tell you how you need to go about it, because I just went out on the big picture and what can be possible if you end up going through your IT career the right way. Now I have, let me go on the chat. I know someone with 3 jobs earning 210K. That's good. You see, that's good. But man, I don't know if I will work 3 jobs with 210. I don't think I will do that. Like, I don't think I will do that. I will work 2 jobs, 180K. But 3 jobs, 210, I will not do that. I will prefer, like I told my students, might as well get to a level of your IT career that you are earning between 120 to 140K. It's better to focus on that and then get to that second job working from home. So now you combine 2 jobs where you are earning 120, 140. Now it gets you to over 250K, 2 jobs, not 3 jobs. But once again, that guy that working 3 jobs, 210, amazing. That's great. That's really good. Compared to other people that have no fucking idea, they're probably earning $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 because they don't know any better. They're not open to what can be possible for them. And again, guys, if you have any questions, I'm going to go on the chat, but let me kind of continue going on a few things before I go and answer some of your questions. So once again, for those of you that end up joining late, just giving you the big picture, but I'm going to go through it in detail right now on how to do that. So 4 or 5 months, you get your first job in IT, not an entry level job, a job that will pay you about 65, 70K. Let's put it like that number, 65, 70K. And that has to be like a network admin, support, analyst position. And then 6 months that you're going to continually educate yourself and doing the right things, not what people tell you. No, and doing the right things that I'm going to talk about for 6 months. Now you can upgrade that job that you got in your IT career, your first job, now to a network engineer position. And that second job has to be, again, engineer level position. And that job has to pay you between 90 to 100K. If you know how to market yourself, if you know how to position yourself, if you know how to sell yourself, and I'm going to talk about those things, you will be able to do that. Second job, in your IT career, network engineer. And that job has to be working from home. That way, within a month, you're able to get your second job working from home. So now you have two jobs that pay you between 90 to 100K a year. And that's how you go about it. Now, before I go into details on how to go about doing this, let me tell you something. Right now is getting very competitive. Even getting your first job in IT or getting to a senior level position is getting very competitive. Because right now there are a lot more individuals deciding, I want to become a IT engineer. I want to become a cloud engineer, a network engineer, a cybersecurity engineer, a DevOps engineer. So there are a lot more people right now going in IT, a lot more. And you know what's the problem about that? There's two problems. Problem number one, next year companies will not be hiring as much as they did the last 3 years because we are about to go through this recession. And you're seeing this right now. This is not me predicting the future, because again, I don't know that much about economics and that way. I just see what's going on right now. And there are big companies, Netflix, Redfin, um, Facebook with the metaverse, Microsoft, Tesla, big companies that are worth billions of dollars. They let go hundreds of people because they know what's going to happen in the next few months. And they want to make sure they will be good to go. So again, next year, the next two, there will be not that many companies hiring compared to the last 3 years. And on top of that, we have a lot more people going in IT. You see, that's problem number one. Problem number two, everyone is doing the same thing. Everyone is doing the same fucking thing. Everyone. Thinking this one IT certification, that's exactly what's gonna get me the job. Or you know what? No. I'm gonna get 2 IT certifications. Or you know what? No. I'm gonna get 3 IT certifications and I'm gonna get the job. And that's not true. As you may know, there are many people right now getting IT certifications by memorizing the questions. So when you end up going through that job interview process, you're gonna position yourself and look dumb because people can tell if you really know or if you're faking it by memorizing the questions and getting those IT certifications that you have on your resume. There are many schools right now like WGU. Total scam. Why? Because they give you the questions for you to memorize and for you to take a lot of the CompTIA certifications. So they condition people to go through some videos, learn a few things, have an idea about the topics, but end up learning the questions. Like, really think about that. Like, really think about that. So, problem number one, not that many jobs, getting competitive. Problem number two, you end up, or most people end up doing exactly what everyone else is doing. Exactly what you're doing, that's exactly what everyone else is doing. So, you end up going through that job interview process exactly the way that everyone is going through that job interview process. That way that you're going to answer the questions, that's exactly the same way that everyone else is going to answer the questions. So please don't think because you were able to answer the questions they ask you, that means you're going to get the job. There is so much more behind scenes that you need to do that you have no fucking idea that you are not doing. And that's the reason why you apply to many jobs. You end up going through many job interviews and you end up not getting that job or that job that you wanted. And that's exactly the reality of many people right now. I'm not bullshitting. That's exactly what's going on. So the way that you go about going your IT career matters a lot. A lot. Now, before I go and talk about what you need to kind of focus on to differentiate yourself, to totally and completely stand out compared to other people, because this is, let me tell you something. Have you ever, and really, have you ever thought that when you go through that job interview process, you are not the only one? And right, this is something obvious. This is something that we all know. Obviously, I'm not the only one. Yeah, but have you ever thought of it this way? That yes, you are not the only one. You know, there are other people that more likely will talk to the same people that you are talking to. They're gonna talk to the same recruiter. They're gonna talk to the same person in HR. They're gonna talk to the same manager. They're gonna talk to the same director. They're gonna talk to the same one, two guys on the IT team. You know, some of the engineers. So the same people that you are talking to, they're basically the same people they're gonna talk to, right? That makes sense. Again, something that you know, but you never ask yourself these questions. Now, if they're asking you probably 5 technical questions, probably and more likely, those questions will be the ones that will be asked to everyone else. So the same questions they're asking you, they are the same questions they're going to ask everyone else. And have you ever thought of the way that you answer the fucking questions? Because if you ever have done that, you're gonna realize that everyone else more likely answer the same questions the way that you did. The same way that you answer the questions, that's the same way that everyone else answers the questions. And you see, this is probably something that you never thought of. So how are you gonna get the job if you cannot even differentiate yourself from everyone else? And you're probably thinking, yes, I know how to differentiate myself. No, I can prove it to you by asking you 2, 3 questions. And then I can ask the same questions to someone else. And you're gonna be like so surprised that the way they answer the same questions I ask you, the same way that they answer them. Just like you. And that's because another thing too, you do not know how to position yourself for people to think of you that you can get the job done. Because the idea, because that was me, by the way. This is not me being like smart all the time, knowing better all the time. No, I fucked up many times throughout my IT career at first because I didn't know any better. I never questioned the things that I was doing. I was just doing things based on what society told me, based on what the IT community told me. I never questioned any of the advice, guidance I end up getting. I never questioned the things that I end up doing. And that's exactly what fucked me over. And that's probably happening to you right now. So going back on that conversation, right? You probably have that idea of, if I answer the questions that they ask me, And if I feel that they kind of like me, I'm more likely to get that job. No, because everyone else is gonna, they're gonna know that questions too. Everyone else probably has the same IT certifications. And you probably answering the questions in a way for people to think of you that you have knowledge. Like, wow, this guy, he knows. He answered all the questions. He knows. Congratulations. He answered all the questions. He has the knowledge about these topics. He has the information. Congratulations. But can this individual get the job done? Probably not. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. Well, let's continue and interview more people. And then you are done. Now, and answering that one question, $80,000, not any good? Yes. But you see, Anthony, I don't know how long you've been working on that job. Because you can go from $80,000 to $120,000 in 4 months if you know what to do. Now, if I ask you, do you have an idea on how to go about it? I know, maybe, I don't know, but maybe you're going to come up with some bullshit. Oh, I need to get these 2, 3 IT certifications. Oh, I need to learn this one technology. And there we go. You have no idea. Okay. So going back on that conversation, and I'm doing it like that way. Because people think just having an idea, it's more than enough. And it matters a lot how you go through that job interview process. And what you want people to think of you is that you can get the job done. Now that you know something, now that you know a topic. Because this is something that I ask everyone. Like, and this is, let's say, for Anthony, he has a NAC position. If you go through the next job interview, right? And you go after a job that's going to pay you, let's say, 100K. And this is for everyone, by the way. If someone come up to you and they ask, can you tell me what's the OSI model? What will you answer? Or any of you, what will you answer? And obviously, I'm asking you something that if you work in IT or you are in the process to study, you know what the OSI model is. But once again, you're going through that job interview process. So what will you say? What will you say about what's the OSI model? Probably thinking, oh, the OSI model, that's how information, it's layers and how information goes from one computer, one device to another device. It goes through this process. We have 7 layers of the OSI model. We have the application layer, we have the presentation layer, we have the session layer, we have the transport layer, we have the network layer, we have the data link layer, we have the physical layer. And you're going to keep going on and on and on with this bullshit. Like everyone else. Oh, yeah, the network layer, the one that works on the layer 3, that's basically all about the routing, routers, layer 3 switches, multi-layer switches. They're all about fucking packets. It's all about all this bullshit that you're going to come up with. And again, everyone else is going to say the same shit. Regardless on how you go about saying it, you're going to sound like everyone else. And then you'll be like, how is that I'm not getting the job? It has nothing to do with experience, guys. Nothing to do with experience. Nothing to do with experience. At the end of the day, when you end up going through that job interview process, when they decided to call you, when they decided, I want to have this guy in front of me, I want to interview this person. When they decided to do that, how many years of experience, the level of education that you have, they don't give a fuck about that at all. None. Zero. I don't care if I'm going to interview this guy with 6 months or this other with 3 years. They don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter if this guy is a high school dropout like me or someone that has a bachelor's degree. They don't give a fuck when you are in front of someone. It's gonna really come down to, and are you able to position yourself for them to think of you that you can get that job done, and for them to like you to that level that they feel that they know you and relate to you. Because sometimes when you go to a gathering of something, you kind of like some people. Oh yeah, I end up liking that guy. Oh yeah, I end up liking that girl. Yeah, I end up liking that group of people. But did you felt connected? Did you felt that you relate to them? And many times you're gonna say, no. I do like them, or I end up liking them, but not to that level that, yes, I really want to hang out with them every day. No. Then you don't know how to make people to like you. You have no fucking idea on how to do that. And you know why? Because all the time that you have is either on fucking Netflix, wasting your fucking time, or only learning technical topics, going on YouTube, learning more technical shit. You see, like I have Raven here. After CCNA, where we want to apply, everybody's looking for experience. I'm sorry, man. I cannot tell you that right now. I'm sorry, Raven, because that's a whole process of how you go about it. A whole process. And just the way that you ask that one question, that tells me a lot that you don't know how to go about doing that. Because you have the wrong thinking. And I really hope that you end up going through the CCNA by learning the topics the right way, by telling stories, not by telling me some fucking lectures. Like if we ask you, right, you're probably going to the CCNA, and let's say that you're probably going on OSPF, learning what OSPF is, setting up some labs, and if I ask you, can you tell me like what OSPF is, or why I need to have OSPF on a network, or what would I have on my network? And if you just come up with some fucking lecture that OSPF is doing this, dynamic routing program, blah, 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 and all this bullshit, again, you will not get the job. People can tell that you're fucking new in IT just because the way that you're going to go about answering the questions. So really quick, I'm going to tell you the things that you need to focus on in order for you to go about getting to a really high paying job in IT. And that's an income, and an income. I'm saying an income of $160,000, $180,000 in a year, right? Because once again, the first job in your IT career has to be a good job in IT that will pay you about 65, 70K. And that has to do with a network admin, network support, network analyst position, or probably something to do with system admin, system support, system analyst position. And many of my students have done it, like many of them. So this is not like, I hope this is something that can happen to you. No, many students have done it, new in IT, and they end up going through that job interview process, being completely new in IT, getting a good job, not an entry level job, because they knew how. They fucking knew how. Because the way that you go about it, people can tell. Now, Jorge, what is the success rate on your students that work hard? I don't know what does that mean for you and working hard. It's like someone asking about that guarantee. Look, I have no guarantee. Because who's going to guarantee me that you're going to do the fucking work? Right? Now, what's the salary based on average on? That all depends on how they end up learning the topics, the high paid skills. And this is where I'm going after. You have to take this is how you go really, guys, about it. You have to learn about storytelling. You have to learn about how to learn, because the way that you go about going through the videos that you go through, how to go about listening to the audios that you listen to, how you go about doing research. Many people don't even know how to do that. Like, really, many people don't know how to do that. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Like, do you know how to do research online? And you probably be like, yes, or you're gonna probably be like, I don't know what you mean with that. Because it's like you asking me, do you know how to put on a shirt? That obviously they know how to put out a share. Like, well, what kind of question is that? Like if I ask you right now, you know, do you know? I don't know. I'm gonna go easy on you. Can you tell me? Oh, do you know what OSPF? Let's just go on that. What OSPF? Can you tell me what's OSPF? And let's say that you have no idea what OSPF is, and you want to learn about it, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna give you a day, okay? And tomorrow I get back to you, and I'm gonna ask you the same question, okay? What's OSPF? I know that you're gonna go on Google and you're gonna type what's OSPF? Things to know about OSPF. What does OSPF do? Right? That's research for most people. And when people do that, that tells me that you have no fucking idea on how to do research, effective research, right? So again, how to do labs too. That way that you go and doing labs. People just go and do labs just to do labs instead of creating stories. So you see a lot of it, and you being able to get a good job in IT, your first job in IT, to upgrade that job that you have to a better one. That's a lot of the things that I teach inside that coaching program, that you can do this on your own if you want. How you gonna storytell, the art of storytelling, the art and how to go through any type of information through video, a book, an audio, hands-on labs, research in a way that it's effective, in a way that you're able to process information for you to know how to story tell, how to educate, how to present it to other people in a way that other people can, for you to put a picture in their mind. Like me talking to you in a way that you can have a picture in your mind and me walk you through like so many scenarios and many things happening. Me walking you through that based on things that you are looking for, that you want, that you are interested. And obviously too, like you see, like those are the things that make the difference. Learning that, how to market yourself, how to position yourself, how to sell yourself, how to influence and persuade that conversation. Like really. Because let me tell you something. And this is something that's gonna blow your mind. Okay. And this is something you're gonna be like, I never thought of it that way. So listen, please listen to this. When I used to work on site, that means me going in the office, right? When I used to work on site, because now it's from home. And I remember like the person that I report to, let's say the manager. When he interview people, he will send an email to us, to some of us, and say, hey guys, if you have time today, I have 2 interviews. Or hey guys, tomorrow I have 1 interview. So if you have time, I would like for you to join. You don't have to, but I would like to. And obviously me, I'm like, I'm going to make the time to join those interviews because I like the process, how people go about it. So in the conference room, we were about 3, 4, 5 of us sometimes. And obviously we were asking some questions. And then, I can go on in many things that a lot of people do wrong. But this is the main one, that this is my point about how to influence and persuade someone. Because when the interview was over, that means that the applicant, the individual walk away from the conference room. I ask, and I always did this. I asked, hey everyone, like, hey guys. I was like, hey guys, we were all guys. I'm like, hey guys, so what do you think about this guy? Did you felt, and please listen to this, did you felt that you interview this guy? Or did you just felt like that you talk to someone that you knew. Listen to what I'm saying, guys, because this is huge. If you really get this, what I'm saying to you. So again, the person walked out, and I was, hey guys, so what do you think about this guy? They were saying a few things, and I'm like, so did you just felt like just in that we just interview this guy, or did you just felt like that was someone that you knew? And anytime they were like, no, we just felt like we interview a person or this guy, they will end up not getting the job. So you see, it has nothing to do on the technical, if they knew that topic or not. None of it. None of it. It was, did you just feel like interview someone, or that you talked to or that you just had a conversation like with someone that you just knew? And if they say, no, we just felt like we knew this person, or we just had this conversation or connected with this guy. Not all the time, but that was more likely the one that end up getting the job. And this is why, when someone, because this is the way people think of it, they go through the job interview process thinking, if I answer the questions they ask me right, I get the job. So I hope, and I'm gonna pray that they ask me something I know, and you are so caught up with it. You're sitting there, right? You're answering questions, and they ask you a question that you know that information about, and in your mind, like, yes, they asked me something I know. Good, good. Thank God they asked me another question that I know. Good, this is going well. And it's not going well for you because you're thinking it's not in the right place. Because you see, the way that you answer a question matters, and how you're able to connect with someone and have a conversation with someone. Because at the end of the day, it has to be a conversation that you are having with them or with the one person that you're talking to. And for you to be able to do that, it's not up to them. It's all up to you. So 100%, it's all up to you. You. And how you go about when they ask you something to make it a conversation, and for you to bring them into into the answer you're saying, basically, and have that as a conversation. You see, that's just so much that I can go and think of. Ivan, that's the details and the coaching program. If you are interested, because obviously you are asking, and for those of you that are asking and you want to work on one-on-one with me and make this happen, many people think of it like, do I really need someone to help me? Like, look, and someone being able to get to a high-paying job in IT, I don't doubt it. People can do that on their own. Like, that's not the question. The question is that I tell everyone, how fast you want a high-paying job in IT? Like, how fast? Because if you want for that to happen sooner than later, yes, sign up and I show you how to fucking do that and accelerate the process and getting your first job in IT, and a good job, because I prepare you all the way through. I give you the content and the CCNA, the modules, all these other skills, and I do many one-on-ones with you and upgrade the job that you have now to a better one. The same thing, because it's not that difficult. It's just more about what you need to do and how to do that. Because even if I tell you, and I've been telling you a lot of the things that you have to do, there is a way on how to do those things that makes a difference. Like, many people think of it like, oh, Jorge, thank you. I end up going through this video about storytelling. That's good. Now you know more about storytelling. Now you have a better idea. But the way that you're going to go about and be able to do that with that technical that you are learning, that's the difference that I'm going to teach you in detail. But you see, it's about you figuring this out on your own based on what I told you, because all that I told you, that's basically what I end up doing, what I end up figuring it out. And this is why it's not difficult getting into a high-paying job in IT. I don't care if you're 20, 50, it doesn't matter. The market, what they want is someone that can get the job done. And you thinking that how you go and answer those questions because you knew that information that gets you the job, or that makes people think of you that you can get the job done. No. Like Jorge, come on. Let's go on this, right? And I need you to think about this. What's an IP address, Jorge? Come on, tell me what's an IP address. Tell me, what's an IP address? Oh, an IP address, yes. That's what devices use to communicate to one another. Without an IP address, they cannot communicate. IP addresses work on the layer 3 of the OSI model. That's a network layer. We have two versions of IP addresses. The new one, IP version 6, 128-bit, not decimal, hexadecimal number. Compared to IP version 4, that one has 32-bit, a decimal number divided by 4 octets. Each octet 8 bits. We have private, public IP addresses. We have different classes of IP addresses. Computers get it through, I think, static or dynamic DHCP. And an IP address that's basically what we have, class A, that goes from number 1. You see, you're going to come up with this bullshit. Now, what I just said, for many people may be like, wow, this guy knows. No. Because the only thing that you're going to think of me is, wow, this guy knows this information. But because the way that I answer that question, that doesn't say anything that I can get the job done. Really think about that. Like you walking out right now and I answer that one question for you, right? Someone come up to you and be like, hey, man, like, I kind of like what the answer of this guy. What about you? Yeah, he knows what an IP address is. Yeah, he knows really well, right? Yeah, I agree. He knows what an IP address is, what we use it for. Like, yeah, I agree that. But now let me ask you, do you think that guy can get the job done? Well, I don't know about that, man. I mean, he knows what an IP address is, like the inside out of it, but get the job done, the things that we do in the company, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. And that's a fucking reason you don't get the fucking job. And that's all I have to say. Any questions? Because I have 5 minutes. No, I have 8 minutes. I have 8 minutes. And obviously, for those of you that are ready, right there, that's the link. You can, and a lot of the things that I talk about, that's on that link too. The high paid skills. And I go in the text. This is why even just reading that page, gets you on the right track and what you need to do and what you need to focus on. And this is, by the way, things that people don't talk about in IT. Because everyone talks about on the next IT certification. It's kind of really fucked up, Like they get the let's say I got my Cisco CCNA and I'm feel good. So what next? What's the next certification that I need to get? I'm like, bro, like really? You just end up getting your Cisco CCNA. Now you're thinking about the next IT certification. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Who told you need another IT certification? Who told you that's the next thing that you need to do? What the hell, man? No, stop doing the same shit that everyone else is doing. Now, why do some network engineers get fired and the company will not tell them why? Probably because they don't know shit about it, man. They don't know shit. People can tell. You may be bullshit people at first, but people can tell. Me asking 3 questions, I can see if you can get the job done. I don't care how much you fucking know. What I care, you're gonna be able to get the job done. That's the reason I'm hiring you. That's the reason why we want you on our team. Not how much you know. I don't give a fuck about how much you know. What I care is if you can get the fucking job done. I ask you 2-3 questions and easily I can tell. And unfortunately, when I do this with people, even with my students, they fail, all of them, until they end up going through the process and they end up learning how. Obviously, you have to have a certification. And I don't care if you want to become a network engineer, cybersecurity, DevOps, cloud. It doesn't matter. You get your Cisco CCNA. I don't care what everyone tells you. I don't give a fuck what other people say. I just go based on results. I go based on facts. I go based on results. You want a good job in IT, they will help you. to become more valuable to the IT market because you are exposed to technologies, to things, and a network infrastructure. That's exactly what you need first before you're thinking about going in cybersecurity, before you're thinking and going and cloud engineer. You need that first. Fuck. I listened to you and it changed my life. Network analyst, no degree. I was a data tech, DC, applied, good interview, good some commands, good understanding based on knowledge. Good for you, man. Good for you. 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes because it's Saturday. I have to get back, spend time with the family. You know, I decided to do this live because once again, I really want to help, even if it's just one or two of you. Like, really get this. Jesus. Things outside the US, I mean, salaries, I get it. And probably in some places they're not that high. But that's the reason why I will go on about doing some other things and do consulting. And please, guys, please, please stop listening to other fucking YouTubers and topics that you do not need. And by the way, there are good YouTubers out there, and they're probably teaching a few topics, and that's fine. But only go to them when you need to learn that one topic. But if you don't need to learn that one topic, don't fucking go and go on all these fucking channels. If I come up to you and I ask you, do you have a fucking detailed plan of action? And this is not for you to have an idea. Oh, yeah, no. I think I need to do this next week. Or I need to go and get this video. So, like, no. A detailed fucking plan of action. What that means is you know the day that you're going to take the exam. Many people do this fucking backwards. Oh, I think I'm ready, so I'm going to schedule the exam. Are you fucking, like, are you serious? No, you scheduled the fucking exam when you decided that I'm going to go all in and I'm going to take it. And because you took the time to plan it out, it's going to take me 4 weeks. It's going to take me 8 weeks. It's going to take me 12 weeks. But I know exactly what I'm going to do every fucking week. And every week, I'm going to stop and be like, okay, did I end up doing everything that I planned out to do this fucking week? People don't even have that. That's how successful people get shit done. This is not based on, yeah, I have an idea on what I need to do. Yeah, this week I'm going to go through some videos. What videos? How many videos? When? Like, how? People cannot even answer that shit. And they want to hype in Japan IT. They want to get to 180 to 100K fast. I mean, come on. This is why I tell many people, a lot of the things, it's about you. You have to change that person that got you where you are right now. That thinking that got you where you are right now, that has to go. The habits that got you where you are right now, that beliefs that you have, those beliefs, how you see that world through your eyes got you where you are right now. And for many of you, that's fucked up. Because you probably living paycheck to paycheck. You cannot take a fucking vacation, a really good vacation with your family because you cannot fucking afford that. And that's all on you. That's all fucking on you. That's your fucking fault. That was no one else's fault. That's your fucking fault. So if you don't want to change you to become the next version of you, you have no chance. I don't care how many. I see many people that have a lot of IT certifications. You know, next time do this. When you go on social media and someone is, hey, I end up getting my 5th IT certification. You know, today I end up getting my 7th IT certification. Everyone in social media, everyone, great job, bro. I'm next. I'm behind you. Oh my God, good for you. No, that's all bullshit. Ask. This is what when I ask, oh, that's great, man. But can you tell me what job do you have? And that's how I expose many people. You cannot go to your bank account and deposit IT certifications. You cannot pay the rent. You cannot pay the mortgage with the fucking IT certifications that you have. Do you? If not many people that are broke will be rich by now. So you see, it matters a lot how you go about your IT career. It matters the IT certifications that you focus on. And there are not that many in order for you to be successful. Now, many people I know don't like me because I'm the number one enemy of CompTIA certifications, entry level jobs. I'm the biggest. I don't know if I'm the only guy, but I think I am on YouTube in that community that basically not only tell you not to, but basically like scream at you saying, "Don't fucking get an entry level job." I don't care what people say about it. I don't care if everything I don't give a fuck about them, and you shouldn't even either. You need to focus on what's gonna give you to a high paying job in IT, and for you to get to that high paying job in IT sooner than later. And I see more people listening right now, so let me go back on this again. When I and my videos or when I talk to people, a high paying job in IT, once again, that's a job that pays $130,000 or more. So that means you have one job in IT, only one that pay you 130,000 or more. That's a high paying job in IT. Now, when you say I got to my dream job in IT, that's because you end up getting that job title that you wanted with an income of $180,000 or more. You see, that's exactly the conversations that we have inside my inner circle, inside the students I have inside the coaching program. And I tell them, look, the standards with me, you working with me, is for you to get to $130,000 tomorrow, like now, fast. Not in the fucking next 3, 5, 7 years. We're gonna make this happen in the next year, no more than 2, to get to 130K in one fucking job. That's the standard that you need to have for yourself. So if you get to a job that's paying you 60K, this is not enough. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then you get to that job that's gonna pay you 90, 95K. It doesn't matter. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm telling you. I mean, fuck. Oh, come on. Okay. So I have 5 minutes because I really have to go now. Any questions? Any questions? Bring that heat, Jorge. I know, right? You see, I'm even losing my voice, guys, for you. Jesus. I cannot wait for next year. I will tell you that. There's so many things, new things happening, like so many new things happening. Like you have no idea all the things that I will be putting out there, helping many people to get to really high paying jobs in IT. You know, like fuck. But if you want to be part of it, that's a link, guys. That's a fucking link. Join the program if you are there. So last question, and that's Patrick. You know, experience CompTIA cert. Oh my god, with 5 to almost 6 years in desktop support, bro. Let me show you something, Patrick. Don't go, Patrick. Let me show you something. I got a student just like you, desktop support for not that many years, 3 years. He was working as a desktop support for 3 fucking years. I don't know how much you're earning, okay? This guy was earning about $40,000, not that much of an income, okay? The same thing, the idea of, of getting to a better paying job. And let me show you, because you're gonna be like man, that can happen to me. Yes, that can happen to you. You fucking decide to do it. But let me show you really quick. I have the text, that conversation that I had with him. And it was funny because, bro, man, like my wife, I'm putting all this time into doing this. like, and I'm like, so we had that conversation. Let me see, where is it? Don't go, guys, so you can see that. Oh, don't go, Patrick, so I can show you that text. I know I have it somewhere. I know I have it somewhere. I'm gonna find it. There. This is a conversation that we had. Dun, 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 dun. There. You see? I screenshot it. This guy went from 40K to 80K. Network engineer. Patrick. He was in your shoes. He went to Guadalajara, Luis. Guadalajara. I moved to Chicago cuando tenía 15 años. That's for Luis. Asking me like, where am I from? So, nací en Guadalajara, me moví a Chicago a los 15 años. So now going back with you, Patrick. That guy was where you are right now. He decided. He joined this process with me. 5 months later, double his income. Network engineer. Let's put aside the income. He ended up getting a network engineer position from desktop support. And like I said, you saw the text. I told him, now that you got this job, now let's work and get you to $120,000 in the next 6-9 months. And he's working on that right now. And he was just where you are right now, Patrick. I'm telling you. So it's up to you, man. Join me so I can show you what can be possible. Sometimes you have to level up to the people that can show you how to get shit done, man. But I have to go, guys. I did more than time with you guys today. So make sure you subscribe on the channel, like this video. I will keep you posted with all this content that I'm going to put out there. And for those of you that are ready to join this coaching program with me, I only have 2 spots available. Only 2, because obviously, because I do a lot of one-on-one calls, I don't have time to deal with that many people. So take care, guys. Have a really good weekend, and hope you take action. Not for yourself, but for your family. Take care. Talk to you soon.